I'm Ralph Ferguson, the Managing Director of the Texas Tech University Ethics Center. And this morning I'm visiting with Mr. Sam Oswald, who serves as a leader in our Texas Tech University High School. And Sam, could you just give us an overview of what that's all about?
We have a kindergarten through 12th grade program. There's a lot of focus recently on high school, but we're actually kindergarten through 12th grade. And our kindergarten through 5th grade is a print-based curriculum that we mail out, ship out to the parents. The students do their work and they fax or mail in their assignments. Then our middle school and high school are all online. Those are, of course, interactive online, and so the assignments that the students do are submitted that way to their teacher.
What is your student population?
The numbers are quite varied because of the different types of enrollments that we have. But in our credit by exams, that would be exams where students basically test out. Each year we do around 34,000 to 35,000. Yes, it's quite a few. And those are primarily used from our Texas independent school districts who want some type of an assessment measurement to test their students either moving up a grade or out of a class, or they've moved from a different state and they're short on some requirements and maybe don't have enough time to take a course. About 23,000 in just enrollments, a single course enrollment. A student might take 1 or 2 courses. Our full-time students, about 5,000 students, and that would mean they enroll for our full curriculum. And it's pretty much half, about 2,500 of those are what we call stateside domestic, and that includes those students that might be living internationally, but they are from the United States. The other 2,500 would be our special partner schools, as in Brazil. As of last year, we currently have students in 58 countries, with some 314,000 students since we began in 1993. We are accredited by the state of Texas. We received that in 1993 as a special purpose district. We are allowed not only to have our curriculum in our program, but it also allows us to provide a diploma at the completion of a high school curriculum. We use Texas certified teachers to teach our curriculum, Texas certified teachers to write our curriculum, and we have approximately 80 to 85 teachers that are part-time with us and that handle all of this load of students. So far as having partnerships around the world, in Brazil, that's our largest partnership, and it's been approximately 15 years. It has grown from 1 school. We now have 60 schools. These are private schools, and having these private schools, each school will have a T2ISD coordinator that's paid by that school. They'll have a coordinator, and they have their own aides or tutors that assist them with some of the curriculum. Last year, I joined a partnership with a group in China, and we have our first 28 students in that. We have another partner that's working with some other groups, even public education in China. So we're real excited about the potentiality of some of those.
What are the practical values that link education and globalization, since you have so many international students in your program?
Definitely the globalization keys in bringing students into a new environment. If they are international students, that they can have the opportunity to join in with other students from other countries in their coursework. And then also, in the high school curriculum, completing a diploma, then they could perhaps, it pushes them a few steps ahead, I think, maybe of some others, with that experience that they have within American education. And so I think it broadens their opportunities.
What determines an excellent program, an excellent online program?
Something we're striving to do, always improving, of course, but to have our students feel a sense of community, a sense that they belong to a larger group. With distance education, the feeling is that sometimes a student can feel like, I'm here alone, but we want them to feel the sense that there's other students out there that are in their class, and so they can interact with them. So that's a key element, I think.
How does that work if you're online? How do you feel like, or get the feeling that you're in a classroom?
We use what's called forums or discussions. That's one method, to where that the students are a particular topic or question is posed, and the students from different classrooms. Some of them are in classrooms and others are just individually studying at home. But where they can join in and offer their opinion on a topic, Then another student would join in and say, oh, I agree with that, I disagree, or I found this to be true, and then another student joins in. So before you know it, you have a little bit of a network going there and some interactive type of things. So those are called discussion or forums.
Now, is this a chat room that they're working through?
Similar, but it's more so, it's typing. It's not a
Okay.
chat room, not verbal. Now, you asked me what are the key elements. I definitely that interactive part. Within the interaction, we're moving towards having the chat room, having it live. We're also moving, because the technology is now present and we have it, to giving them the opportunity to contact their teacher via voice over IP. We're hopeful to have not only the typing interaction, but also the verbal, either through the voice over IP or chat rooms, as you said.
That is outstanding. Now, and the transition for this is going on now, as we speak.
We're preparing for it now, yes.
Wow.
First preparation was, of course, get the equipment. We have the software here on campus already. One of the first steps, of course, was laptops. We have about 80 teachers that are part-time to us, and so that was approximately 80 computers, so that's a lot of computers.
Students have to pay for these courses, and if they're in Brazil or Europe or Russia, they have to pay with their currency. And now that we have a stronger dollar, do you feel like that having a strong dollar is going to impact the online high school student population?
We're experiencing that right now with our students here in Brazil because the dollar is so high and their real is lower. Although we haven't had a negative impact and a loss of students, it's still concerning because the cost is so different. This has been just a year, and so they're studying it, looking at it, and we're hopeful that we won't have a lot more of a change in that, but it is concerning.
On online programs, as what we have here at the Texas Tech High School, do we have some type of supplement or scholarship like what we would use in the traditional college mode that may help defer some of those costs?
We don't.
Okay.
Through T2ISD, we don't at present. However, we do provide a scholarship for students that are interested in completing our high school program as a full-time student, and then if they're interested in going to Texas Tech University.
Okay.
We have provided a competitive scholarship of $1,000 for that, and it's been quite popular this past year. And so we're hopeful that that will grow.
You said something a little earlier about advancing the technology. I'd like to get your perceptions of the future for online education. I know that we're obviously with changing technology, we see a bright future. How do you see it taking shape over the long haul?
I believe that even in the public schools, we're seeing the advent of the learning management systems and distance education. But I think we'll begin to see more and more in the public schools, and then more and more, of course, as in what we do. There's great interest in it, and it really fits the needs of many students that are in a situation that they cannot attend a regular brick and mortar school. It's such a broad variety of students that we have. We have students that are movie stars, actors, models, professionally. Because of their career, I mean, they may already be on a career path at 5th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade, 10th grade. And so because of their career and not having the time to commit themselves to what we call a brick and mortar school, this provides a great opportunity for them to study at the times when they have that time. In addition to those type of students, we've had many athletes, all the way from race car drivers. We had a 2008 graduate that was a recent silver medalist at the Olympics, speed skater. On that career side at Methanage Rodeo, we currently have a middle school student who is, I believe I have this correct, that he's president of an association that includes North America, Canada, and Australia. That allows him this opportunity to spend time with the profession at the same time get his education. We have missionaries who are living in other countries. This curriculum meets the needs for them because they need to travel, or where they're at, they are not able to get to an international or an American school. Anyone, oil companies, anyone that has a need to travel with their work and their jobs, and they take their families with them now, which they didn't used to be able to do that quite as easily, this provides an opportunity. The last group is students that might be ill, terminally ill sometimes, in hospitals. We had a student recently, same situation, and yet he was able to continue his curriculum, straight A student. And I wasn't there in the hospital room, but I can only imagine that perhaps our curriculum and his studying it gave him, he and his family, because his sister enrolled in our curriculum too, in our program. And so probably gave them as a family something a little different to do during that time. That's a difficult time in the hospital.
When students sign up, like the group that you're talking about in China, when they sign up, they sign up to actually complete or to pursue the high school diploma in the U.S.
That's correct. That's the most popular with the international students.
Okay.
That's really their interest and their purpose. And so they will typically do our high school, which would be 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Now, being outside of the United States and having a different curriculum that they grew up with, we're finding that the 8th grade English curriculum is of great advantage to them.
Okay.
And so we're beginning to implement some of those, the concepts and the coursework that's typically contained in an American school in the 8th grade. So we're pushing that into the 9th grade so that they haven't missed out on the grammar and some of the technical things that we sometimes take for granted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are they required to study Texas history as most Texas students are required?
Yes, that's a part of it.
That's part of it?
Yes, economics, yes, in English. The students have to be approved to enter the program. And so we're not a program that teaches them how to speak English as such. We're a program that they come in with a proficiency in English.
When international students get a U.S. high school diploma, does this provide them any special privilege for entry into a U.S. university?
Most universities would require the TOEFL and also SAT or SAT. In the state of Texas, it's probable that because they have graduated with a Texas high school diploma from us, that the TOEFL wouldn't be required. It's probable. At present, Texas Tech University does not require that, but they do for other international students. But because of the uniqueness of our program and the proficiency that the students have, that's why it's a little bit different.
Are there any other factors that you feel like that we haven't gone over this morning?
Our students scored quite high with their SAT and ACT ratings. And they strive. They're the type of student that's going to work hard in their distance learning courses. Distance education perhaps isn't for everyone, and the coursework, and students typically find that out on the first course because it takes a lot of self-initiative.
Okay.
And both from them and their parents, to have that support structure. Cost-wise, it is very cost-effective, we feel, at our price point. There are many other programs out there, some less and many that are quite a bit more. This past year, we were ranked 18 out of 100 schools across the United States, 18th, and being a good curriculum, a good school for high school, and then also a good value. And that ranking was with the public, the private university. When we looked at those that we were compared with or against, it was interesting to find out that we were ranked 18th amongst all of them, but we were ranked 4th with similar curriculums or programs that are in universities. We're quite proud of that someone recognized us out there in that way. It's a great value, and for the parents that choose the curriculum, they seem to find so as well.